Are we live? What is going on, guys? We are back for another episode. We're here live after the game.
Why am I so excited for a draw? Why am I so excited?
This has sadly become the norm, and it's bad.
It is bad.
This should not be the norm. We should not be excited for a draw, but sadly we are.
But I am so in love with Gabe Siegel right now.
So this isn't the first time. Well, we're gonna get all over the place like we did last time. Let's clean it up like we want to, and let's talk about this game. First of all, the upper deck, the third tier, was open today, which hasn't happened in a long time. Did you see how many fans there are?
There were tons of fans.
No, we have a number.
Oh, we have a number.
It was over. Well, let me let you guess. Over, under 25.
Over 25.
Okay, over and under 27.
I'd say about 27.
Over.
Over? Where were we at?
Over 28? Will you take that?
Well, now that you're giving me that face,
okay. I'm just going to give it to you. Over 30,000. The Messi effect has begun.
People thought Messi was going to show up today. I'm sorry. You were disappointed.
The Messi effect has started, bro. That's exciting.
Insane. That's insane. They actually opened up the third row, which they never do at these games since we've been fans. I heard that in 2015, it used to be this pack, Perlo and all those guys. But to see that here today was impressive. I don't know if the team lived up to the hype.
Well,
of the crowd.
This could have been their coming out party. You know what I mean? This could have been, all right, let's go out there. We got 30,000 in the stands. Let's make a splash. Let's finally show them what we're made of. It wasn't that game.
It was not.
It wasn't that game, but we did get late game excitement. But let's first start off with the lineup. Let's get into the lineup. Let's see what's going on. So this was our lineup this game. We had Barasa, Cufre, Sands, Morales, Santi, Perea, Janik, Thales Magno, Keaton, Hack, and Alfaro. Were you excited when you first initially saw this lineup?
Excited? I wouldn't say excited. Do I think that was the best lineup we probably could have put out there? Yeah. For those who didn't know, Chanot was in international leave, so he couldn't make it. And as we know, someone's injured. Thiago Martins was injured. So this is the best backline we had. As you saw, he played three in the back again.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a 3-4-3 offense. And I thought for most of the game, I thought we played pretty well on defense with the lineup that we have. Alfaro came out again looking strong, in my opinion. And, there was a few times where I thought Hack could have done a little bit more, but I thought in general it was a pretty good play on the defensive line.
Yeah, so let's get into the game. We had some pretty dangerous opportunities in the first half. And those first half, we had Cufre to Thales in the 39th minute. Dangerous opportunity. It was a perfect pass from Cufre to Thales. He hit it with his right foot, but it just didn't hit the back of the net. It was slightly to the right.
Yeah. And Thales definitely had some opportunities there. I thought that was a pinpoint pass by Cufre. I really thought that could have been an opportunity. But once again, this team just can't finish. And that was a good opportunity. But in general, though, I thought this was probably Thales' worst game of the season. I thought every time he had the ball, he made the wrong pass. Every time he had a shot, he had a terrible chance on the finish. I was really hoping when they took Thales out for Siegel, which they did do, right? That's really substituted.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that happened earlier in the game because I honestly couldn't believe how poor Thales played this game.
I actually disagree with you. I
don't know what game you were watching. Bro.
I think so. Columbus Crew had a high line. Basically, their line was all the way in the midfield, and they were just waiting for somebody to creep on over. And that's what That's what NYCFC plan looked like. It was hit Thales over the top. He's gonna do something dangerous. And I thought Tallis did have those opportunities to do something dangerous. I mean, of course, he didn't finish. And this is where we go into the conversation of we need a true striker. But it wasn't like there wasn't dangerous opportunities this game. We maybe played one of our most dangerous halves that first half.
I would agree with you, but I do not agree with you. And I think if we look at the stats of this game, how are we going to say that this was our? Well, we had 5 shots on target, so I guess that's as better. I didn't.
Yeah,
expect
we
us
had
to have that
5
many
shots on
target.
targets. We had 13 shots overall. I mean, it's not like we were playing poorly. I mean, I will say it's a tale of two halves.
Okay.
And Scott Cherson, he was sitting next to me, and he brought up a great point. He looked at the stats, and he says this team is a tale of one half being good and the second half being bad. If you look at the stats, NYCFC is outscoring opponents 9-7 in the first half. If we look at the second half, they're being outscored 17-9.
Oh wow.
It's insane. So this team is a team of first halves and second halves. I don't know what happened in the second half where we lapse or we fail to score or what it is, but we seem to be struggling that second half, even though this was the game where we actually scored a goal in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we scored a goal because Siegel came in and saved the day with one of his magical chances. But in general, I don't think even when we made the substitutions, even when we got Ledesma, I didn't see that we had a coherent. I think that's where I've been struggling, man. Like, I'm not typically very critical of this team and like the coaching, but I thought on this game, it was hard to watch the offense, especially in the second half. I thought, like, what are we doing out there? It felt like people were making guesses. There was what really hurt me was right when the first half started, Tallis steals the ball. He's right there with 2 defenders. GP's coming up to the right. Santi's coming up to the left. Tallis shoots. Tallis isn't even looking at the goal. He looks back to see if someone's available. There are 2 people available. He turns around and shoots. I don't know if you saw that. I could not believe that was the choice he made. Tallis really, really frustrated me today. And what is he rated? 6.3.
So FOPMOP agrees with you. The stats are showing Tallis is he had a poor game. Kufre had one of those better games, to be honest, at 7.6. So it's not a lack of performance. I mean, I lost my train of thought. So you could put blame on Tallis, but there was plenty of times where it was 3 against 1 guy. And where are these other guys making the runs over the top to the sides of the field? Like, that's where I think we're lacking. We're not getting guys to the left or right of the pitch. It's just like there's 1 guy attacking, 2 guys swarming him, and nothing happens.
Yeah, agreed. In the final third, we are just not cohesive. There are not players out there. And we were also just playing really high. Did you see Barassa? Barassa spent more time outside of the box than inside the box. I don't know if you can see that on TV, if you're watching it on TV. But Barassa, half of the game was playing center back.
I mean, that's kind of what he's been, though. When we play that back 3, it's been that where we pass it around the back and hope to then do something up on offense.
But that shows that, like, Cushing's game plan today was to have us score goals, to be as offensive as possible, and we still couldn't score, and that really scares me. We didn't score because we had an amazing plan to score that. It's because Siegel is a godsend that I think saved us from having.
So you're officially on the Siegel boat.
Did you not see my tweet?
No, I haven't seen your tweet yet.
I said, look, Mom, we found the striker.
I mean, he has been. So last time he scored was against Orlando, and it was same thing. 89th minute, ties up the game, gives us some life. This was the same thing. This game felt like it was going to be a loss that second half. Once that second half started, it just kind of felt like we were declining, falling into the same patterns we fall into over and over again. And so it was concerning, and then Siegel brought us back. And the crazy thing is, that pass from Ledesma was going to Perea on the other side.
Yes.
And then it was basically a deflection that rolled right into Siegel and then made it a dangerous opportunity.
But you know what it is? And something that I didn't see from this team, but I saw from Siegel today, is that they didn't give up on the play, right? When originally what I thought happened was it was being passed to someone else, and that person was offsides.
Yeah.
And so so he couldn't touch the ball.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
so then Siegel flew in to go in and try to get that shot. And so I think this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the hustle out there. And I think a lot of what I've seen from this team is like on 50-50 balls. I don't see the team pushing hard, trying to make like that extra little bit of effort to you know what I mean, to like own that pitch
Yeah.
and to own that ball. And Siegel came in there, and Siegel is just scoring goals based solely on hustle. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of Dottie, right? It's like, except Dottie had skill, and Siegel does not.
Or he's
At this
getting
point.
skill.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He's just very young. But like, if I think all our players had that amount of hustle, a lot of these games could have had different results. So I'm hoping Siegel motivates this team, and we see this type of play from now on.
So you said you didn't agree with necessarily the tactics in this sense. Do you blame Cushing now? Like, does Cushing have some ownership in this loss?
A loss. It's a draw.
Oh, I mean, draw. It still feels like a loss to me, to be
I
honest.
almost lost $100, and I didn't lose $100.
Oh yes, you did your
because of
live
that
bet. It was
Cooper.
$100, and it worked out.
It worked out. It worked out. I said take the tie, no bet, and I did it, and I'm very happy I did it. Just so you guys know, for anyone listening to live stream, we will be cutting to the press conference when we get there. So,
Yes, that's the intention. To cut to the live stream. I want to make sure this tweeted out. But yeah, the intention is to cut to the live stream when we can, if this allows us to. Sorry guys, we're doing some testing. Oh yes, we're in. We're good.
Okay. All right. So then, where were we? So,
So I mean, as much as I'm optimistic and excited about the future of this team, like okay, we finally tied, but we're still 10 games without a win. The last game we won was April 22nd at Citi Field against FC Dallas, when we were feeling great, when we were thinking like this team is gonna be legit. This is a dangerous team.
do you know what I realized?
What?
We have not won a game since our boy Kevicho came on our show.
Has it really been that long?
Kevicho put on an NYCFC jersey, and we have not won a game.
He's jinxed us.
He jinxed us. I think we got to bring Kevicho back, and my man has got to take off the jersey on the show, put on a Sporting Kansas City, so Sporting Kansas City could get back this voodoo. Because what's happening now is terrible.
It's awful.
So I blame a little bit of Cushion, I blame a lot of David Lee, and I blame a whole lot on Kevicho.
So are you excited? We know the summer transfer window is coming up soon, July 5th. We've already mentioned some people who could be joining us. Do you think we'll have the answer there, and this will then transform our season from what it is now?
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. You know, I got to say, when we were on the 90th minute and we were about to lose this game, I was actually concerned. Like, is Cushy going to lose his job after this game? Did you feel that?
Do you think this saves his job, though?
I think it does. I came in here and saying Cushion lives for another day.
Well, I don't think he would get fired in the middle of the season, regardless of the fact. But I don't think it saves or doesn't save his job. I still think we're in the same position we were. I mean, if we're excited about a draw at home, we have big issues, we do have big issues. So
and now we have 3 games on the road before we're back at home.
Yeah,
and our next team is against Atlanta, so it is not easy pickings. But we'll get Chanel back, which will do things. But really, I didn't come out here and go, man, we really miss Chanel. I came out here saying, I mean, we need some offense, man.
But our offense was dangerous that first half. We actually had some good opportunities that first half. And we had like you said, 13 shots?
We had 13 shots. We had 5 on goal. So,
I mean, that's a lot for how we've been playing recently. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's something where we could take that momentum into future games and feel like, hey, look, we've done something. But it's still not enough, obviously.
It's definitely not enough.
And if you look at our expected goals compared to theirs, we had 1.40 expected goals over their 1.14. We had more shots than them. I just feel like we were more of the dangerous team. But yeah, we keep saying this time and time again, where we're like, oh, we think we're the better team, but we don't. The score line doesn't show it.
Yeah, and not only that, but I feel like the product on the pitch doesn't show it either. Like maybe we had more possession, maybe we had more shots on target, but I didn't come out of here and say, "Man, we played so much better offensively than we had in the past." If I had to, in my honest opinion, I think last game we played much stronger than we did this game.
You think? No, I don't think so. I think we had a stronger first half this game.
Disagree. Well, no. I'm talking about the complete game. So full 90 minutes.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
think we played better last week than we did this week?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we had a
I
better
don't know
game this
what
game.
game you were watching, bro. I don't know. I feel Atalis frustrated me so much, and he does not frustrated me like this in the past.
Well, one thing we can say is we can't blame officiating this game. I don't think there might have been some calls there, here or there, but you can't blame officiating.
No, I mean not to miss goals. I do think some of the yellow cards and actually there was that one opportunity in the first half where the ref stopped the game, um, even though we had what do you call that? We had momentum.
Oh yeah, we had advantage.
We had advantage, yes.
So
So hasn't been perfect either. I mean the ref didn't do great. I actually thought the ref was pretty bad, but luckily none of the calls were really impacted the score line. So that's really all that matters at the end.
so if we look at the MLS standings now, we are bottom of the third. We're still with 18 points over Chicago Fire and Miami. And you would think Miami's gonna play better once once Messi joins the squad. So
Also, I'm not even sure if the Fire have played yet today. Have they?
no, there might be a couple games that haven't been played. Well, we played 18 game versus Chicago Fire in 17 and Miami at 17. So they can easily.
Well, that could be because of today.
No, exactly. What I'm telling you is we could be at the bottom of the league if, let's say, Miami. Miami and us will be tied for last, and Chicago Fire, if they win, they'll be over us. So we're on the bottom half of the Eastern Conference. It's crazy.
It is a little.
If we preview now, we play Atlanta on Wednesday, which is gonna be an Atlanta team we play against without James Sands because I think he's gonna be on international duty.
Yes, and yes, he goes on international duty. We could miss. I heard maximum, depending on how far we make it, we could miss 5 games without James Sands.
That's insane.
That is insane.
That's even scarier.
That is even scarier. Who do we play if James Sands is not? The only thing I would say is with Sands being out, 5 games. Hopefully, we have Chanel back, right? So then, if we have Chanel back, then Alfredo Morales plays the middle with
Chanel.
no. Alfredo Morales plays the middle with Parks, and then we have Chanel, Alfaro, and maybe Hack back there.
Yeah. Did you like Hack's performance?
I thought he was serviceable. You know what? You know why I know this team has a staff problem? Not a staff. Yeah, like
a depth,
depth problem.
Yeah,
is that we have a lot of players that I don't think Turnbull's in our starting squad. I know he didn't start this game, but Turnbull starts games, man. Turnbull is an NYCFC 2 player. And Justin Hack, love him to death, but is he really a starter on a ton of other teams? And I heard Blue Ball say I think we had 5 or 6 Americans out there at the same time on our team, which
you like, kind of.
But it's not because
brother is joining us again. He says, "Hi, fellas, just came in here to talk about it."
What'd you think about the game?
Yeah, brother? Come on, vent to us, brother. Let us know what your thoughts are. Hopefully, we're gonna have the press conference soon. We are waiting. Nick Cushing has not been at the press conference yet, but we might just have it right now. Give us one sec. But yeah, brother, vent to us. Let us know how you're feeling, and we'll go from there. We play Atlanta. Looking at our schedule, we're gonna play Atlanta, then we play the Portland Timbers, then CF Montreal, all on the road.
Yes.
I mean, those are tough places to play.
Those are tough. What I'm hoping, I was trying to verify it during the half, but didn't have time. Maybe Thiago Almada is also away for Atlanta.
Yeah.
And also, I was looking at the probability, and I think NYCFC had a slight probability to win that game, which was a little shocking to me.
Yeah.
So it is not going to be super easy, right? I think I added the stats. Oh, is the press conference?
Oh, I think the press conference is live. We are cutting to it now. Let's see if this works.
He's been putting in and all the times he's been getting on the pitch, and to have a goal like this, a really big goal that could really propel you to do big things. Just talk about that.
It doesn't feel like a win because it's a draw at home. You know, we are used to in past years being strong at home. And the aim for us and the desire is to be that team, and we're on the right path, I believe. The performance is enough to win, but there's elements we have to improve. Yeah, we put Gabe in. He's more of a number 9 that will play in between the posts, but he's inexperienced. He's he's a rookie he works incredibly hard. We know that he's going to get one chance in the game. He nearly got 2. And for us, it's about while he's in this development area of his game, is whether he takes that chance. So for us, it was a no-brainer to put him in because we know, like I say, he's going to get that chance. It's just for him, the aim is to become that real clinical guy that takes the chance. And he had one chance at New England away. He's had some chances at home before. The chance at Orlando, the chance today he put in, and he's on the right track. His work ethic and his work rate and his commitment to the team is exceptional. So for me, I love working with these guys because even when areas of his game may drop because of he's developing, his work rate and his work ethic is excellent.
Scott?
Hey, Coach. Thanks. With this right now, with the schedule that's upcoming, how much did Atlanta factor in when it came to subbing in players in and out? Thanks.
Within the game, I'm just trying to win the football game. I'm trying to find solutions to win this football game, and there's an element of tiredness because there's an emotional response to going down again at home and potentially losing a football game. And I thought our fullbacks were really aggressive in the game, so I flipped them. I wanted to change the shape to try and chase the game. So we put Tavon in because he has that moment against Cucho in. He's physically excellent. He can make plays. When we're a little bit open, we're chasing it, and we were wide open at times for that reason. Richie Ledesma should be in the team. The system is, at the moment, for the players that we have, taking out one offensive player, and I think when we're 1 down, we just have to throw pushes to the wind and be risky. And he's a player that should be in our team, and you see today that he comes on and he gives us offensive quality. He can link the game. James Sam went to midfield because his level is high. And like I said, we put Gabe in purely because we knew we would get one chance, and sometimes you just got to flip it, mix it up a little bit, see if you can get a little bit of freshness in the team. I thought the subs helped us today. Yeah, I think he said to me, actually spoke to me yesterday and said that when he was in college, his coach didn't play him all the time, maybe put him on for 10 minutes, and he said, I led the team in goals. He said, I just seem to always score, even if you give me 10 minutes. He said, just remember that. And in the game, when you come to the goal and you need a goal, you got to remember those moments, put him in, and he gets the chance. The take on the goal is as good as the goal because it's coming out the air and he takes it on his chest to set himself. I think you see a goal scorer there, and we believe in him. And we also believe that as we develop this team and as we grow this team, a real goal scorer can really help him, and that's the aim, and that's the direction we're going in.
The gentleman in the vest.
Good afternoon, Coach. Obviously, was the team of Columbus goal winning, but how impressed are team's performance today, especially the attack of the first half and developing the late goal?
I want more. We have chances in the first half. The game is 9-4 in goal chances to us, and we draw 1-0. And at home, we know that our football club, of course, this is a different team. When we get a game 9-4 here, we get the Yankee Stadium effect, and we normally win the game 3-4. And that's where we have to get to. That's the process. Developing the players, improving the squad. We have an opportunity to do that when the window opens and accelerate the development in winning football games. So I was pleased with elements of the performance, but I've said that for the last God knows how long. And ultimately now it's about winning football games. Of course, we have to stay on the right path. We have to stick to the direction because this direction will turn us into a real challenging team. I think the most positive and what I said to the guys is you can't question this team's spirit and commitment to New York because the desire and the fire, if I was a supporter in the crowd, I'd be really proud of my team today.
Gentlemen in the blue polo.
Yeah, so I've been pushing out signs the past few games. What does it feel like to see that? And what's your message against playing them?
Really disappointing for me because it's not nice to see. But ultimately, it's every fan, every person has their opinion. It's part of the game. All I can do is thank the third rail have been incredible for me. The fans that are behind me are incredibly supportive. Actually saw two boys with pushing in signs today, which is really made me smile. But listen, everyone has their opinion of which direction a football club can go in. I remember those Ronnie Dyler signs, Dyler out signs. We won the championship. So if that propels me to win MLS Cup, I'll take that. I'll take the bed sheet all day. But for me, I think it's really important now that everyone gets behind this team. Support for a young developing team of real talent is really, really important because the guys they're suffering because they want to win so much for New York and they want to propel this team into being a winning team. We have been a successful organization 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. We've in 2020, we've consistently been there. And this team will be there. I fully believe in that. I think support and real energy maybe could be the difference that we need.
We're going to go with Joe Tollison and then Oliver Strain right here.
Nick, what's the frustration level for you? I mean, this is, I don't know how many games this season where you talk about the chances your team creates and you don't score and you limit chances and they do.
The frustration is that what I want is the fix now. And I had that last year with a real team of mature, experienced football players. And now, because of the nature of our league, that team was broken up because of salary cap rules and because of the nature of how we keep our league competitive. We now have a real exciting, talented team. And we see that in the way that we play football games. We dominate the ball. We've created 9 chances. Tales has really big chances on the back post. We've scored goals. Nobody can argue Gabriel Pereira is a really exciting football player. Santiago Rodriguez. I would love to be a fan watching him, the way he plays, the way he takes the ball 1v1, the way that he manipulates the opponent. We also have players like Keith Fox and James Sands that control football games. Michelinic is going to be a real top fullback. And let's hope it's here for a long time because we've also been in that, like Tati. But it's the nature of this of our football club. We're on the right path. I really enjoy working with this team and the soul and the desire and the heart and the fight within the locker room is the best I've experienced since I've been here. The togetherness and the team spirit and the characters in the team. We just got to continue to work. And if we were being outplayed and we were being opened up and we were on the wrong end of 9-4 goal chance games, I'd be scared. I'd be really worried. But I'm confident and I'm really driven to continue to work for our football club.
Oliver?
Hi, thank you. I want to jump back to the answer that you were giving to Scott. A couple minutes ago, you were talking about how you want for Gabe to work with a real goal scorer. Can you expand on that?
Of course, I've said it all along in press conference from the start of the season to now, and we haven't hidden away from when the rules hit you hard and you can't keep everybody, 9 go and 4 come. There is space, and we're working every day, and we always have done. You guys have been probably with this team a lot longer than me. When one guy goes, one guy comes. Tati went, Tales came. Izzy Sejori Shirabi went, Gabriel Pereira came. We have a track record of adding real quality to this team, and the desire and the direction is exactly the same. I'm working incredibly hard with David Lee, with Brad Sims, with my coaching staff, to identify the right guys that are going to push us forwards. And the aim is July the 5th. The window shuts in August, early August. We have a real desire to to improve the squad. We'll continue to work, and actually you got to be patient with us. We can't tell you something we don't have yet. All I can tell you is we will fill those slots.
Final two questions. We'll go with Leo in the room and then Christian Hennig on Zoom.
Coach, thank you for your time. You had a very different looking back line this afternoon. So first question would be, I want to—
Great times over in the game.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on your defense performance, given all the adjustments you had to make. And second question would be, do you think you guys could have won this game if you had just a few more minutes at the end of it?
Listen, I've probably been critical of referees. I think we could have won the game if he gives us the corner that we should get. But I understand this is the game. Thiago Martins, Maxime Chanot have been the two central defenders when we played four in the back. My desire is to play four in the back because then we can get an extra offensive player on the pitch, and you see Richard Ledesma sits, and then if we do increase the squad and we bring in then two across it, and we've had some really good performances 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 this year. We've also had success playing 3-4-3 last year after the conference final. But when you lose Chanot and Thiago Martins, you have to find solutions. And I think Justin Hacker's been incredible. He's a midfield player and an inexperienced midfield player. But going in at the back, he's done a real good job. James Sands has played in the back, so he's natural. He to me, has real quality in the midfield to us. The play for Tavon on Pucho's shot shows his real ability and why we rely on him. Antonio Alfaro has to be patient. It's not ideal to keep shifting and changing the back line because we want cohesion, but it needs must at the moment because of either injuries or tiredness or suspensions. Or I think that the thing that I'm really pleased with is the commitment and the application of guys to build cohesion and to train and to try and build rapport between that back line in a short space of time. I'm frustrated with the goal. The goal is too easy. It's far too easy, and in this run we can't give those goals away. And we drew with New England in a game where we give them 1 goal chance. We give Columbus 4. I think 4 is too many for Pucho Hernandez and Christian Ramirez, and it's disappointing. But at the same time, the guys are working really hard to be solid.
Final one, Christian Hennig.
Hi, Coach. You've now got 3 road games coming up with a coast-to-coast trip. I'm just curious to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. We know that we haven't won on the road, so that gives us a real, we have real drive and desire to win. It's going to be difficult at Atlanta. It's going to be difficult at Portland, but ultimately our focus is on Atlanta, and we know that we can build that we haven't lost on the road in the last game at Salt Lake. It was showing real fight and desire, and we just need to make that step now. We need to trust the process. We need to continue on the journey, and we need to make sure that we continue to fight for the team and for the badge because, the performances are good, and we know that we can go and carry a game of the ball. We know that we can create goal chances. For us, it's going to be difficult, but we're ready for the challenge.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, you heard it there live, guys. Keep talking, bro. What's your thoughts? You're here lost over here.
I thought, first of all, I think that's the most I've heard Cushion. First of all, that's the most questions I think I've heard Cushion be asked. And also, I thought we got a lot of good stuff there. One big thing was Joe Tollison was at the press conference, and he said, "What's your biggest frustration?" And he says, "I have a plan for a mature team, and right now I have a really young team. And when this team matures, I can see it. I can see Micha being a superstar. I could see Santi being a superstar. And right now we just have a really young team," which in my opinion is kind of a little...
That's a horrible way of looking at it, right? Well, horrible for him to think, oh, look, I need a mature team for my game plan to work. No, you need to adapt to the players you have, right? I mean, that's my thought process. You can't just be like, yeah, if my team was more mature, they'd get my game plan and we'd score goals. Like, how does that work? And also, okay, we're going to have, maybe he's saying in the summer transfer window, we'll get some more mature players who can then run his system. I don't know. That's the best I could think of, but that's just not a valid excuse, I would say.
I would say that they mentioned that too. he says we have gaps in this roster, and I'm working with Brad Sims. I'm working with the coaching staff. We're gonna fill in those gaps. He said that in this interview, and I think that means
is that a way to kind of put onus on the players rather than himself? Like, if you think about it, you're saying no, it's the players I have right now, but I'm working with Brad Sims to get better players. That's a concern.
I mean, we talk about this every episode, so it feels like we're hashing out what we've talked about in the past. But gonna say it again, it's very hard for a coach to win when they don't have a good team, man. And so, like, we are playing with. I don't know. Even for MLS,
okay.
I don't know if we're playing
is it that
team.
it's not a good team or it's an underperforming team? Because a lot of big pieces we had here were dangerous last season, and then coming into this game, I mean, granted, it's Vegas and they don't watch MLS. Vegas had us pretty high up there. Like, we were the team to beat. You know what I mean? Like, we could really make a dent this season.
Yeah.
We have brother. He says, my thought is we need to try and keep pushing to the limit. Besides, I know we lost the perfect piece, and that is Thiago Martin, but the transfer window is on the way. I think he's talking about playing 4 in the back.
And Izzy says we're underperforming. I think it's both. I'm not going to say, the thing is, I don't want to say I'm defending Cushion but I'm just saying that I do think there is some underperformance, but what I'm saying is some of the underperformance not just tied to maybe Cushing's coaching style, but also tied to people not playing the position they're comfortable with because of injuries, because we don't have a striker, because we don't have depth. Like, all those things, I think, play an impact in why we're underperforming.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just don't put all of the blame on Cushing. I put a lot of the blame on the front office for allowing us to go into this season with this team. And then I also put some onus on the coach, and I also put some onus on the players. I mean, some of the passes that Talish Magno made today were all on Talish Magno. How do you can't teach this guy to like, some of it has to be on the players themselves. And I think our front line didn't do too great.
I like so JD says ran into Ian Joy. He was quite jovial.
I mean, I was jovial at the end of that game too, man.
Ian Joy's a nice guy though.
He's
just a joyful guy. But yes, JD, thanks for commenting. I agree. Ian is a joy to hang out with.
He is, and he always brings the positive energy.
I hope he was bringing positive energies after this game because it was a tough loss.
And you keep saying it was a loss.
It feels like a loss because I'm not accepting that it was a tie. I mean, I'm not accepting that should have felt like a win.
I agree that it didn't feel like a win, but a loss would have felt so much worse than how we came out.
Okay, back to the Nick Cushing press conference.
You know what I appreciate, and you should appreciate
what?
This? The first thing that came out was, how do you feel about this game? And he says, to me, it felt like a loss.
And no, that's the thing. He said, do you feel happy that it was a draw? And he said, to me, it felt like a loss. I mean, to me, it felt like a loss. I think to a lot of fans, it felt like a loss. And I think that's why we're starting to see the Cushing out signs. And he admitted that he's seen the Cushing out sign. He did last week. And then they asked him about it again this week. And he said, yes, I saw the Cushing out sign. But he said, hey, there was Dyla signs out too when he was here, and that plateaued him to win a cup. So could that be the same run? I don't know. I don't think so. The way it feels like right now, no, it's not going to plateau them to move forward. But we were in this type of slump when Dyla was here, when the Dyla out signs were here. He also mentioned that he did see Cushing in signs from probably two people, which were probably his family members. No, I'm joking. I don't know. But he said he saw 2 Cushing in signs, and he said that maybe it made him feel. He didn't say it made him feel better, but he said he did see the signs.
It made me feel a little better. I'm not gonna say
you're looking for those Cushing in signs now.
I'm looking for those Cushing. I mean, once again, I know we've said this 1 trillion times, so it feels like we're beating a dead horse. But I think we're underperforming. I do blame some of that at Cushing, but I also think that some of this is just it shouldn't be all on Cushing.
Roberto's here. Do you want to make a guest appearance again? Yes.
Yes, please.
Roberto's coming back for another guest appearance.
Roberto. We're tight here, so take my seat, please, please.
I'll sit behind you.
Yeah. We'll pivot this up. This is fine.
I got you.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
What are we doing?
Oh, so let's read this comment. So Izzy says, should the team consider making the stadium 30,000 seating with the attendance being announced today?
Yes.
Yes, you've made that point.
Yes, I've made this
multiple
point
times.
before. I've always said that the stadium should be 32,000, and I stick to that.
And I think he said 32,000 because that's one seat more than Red Bull Arena. Is that correct?
Arena is 25,000. So as it stands, it better be one seat bigger than Red Bull Arena. But I really do believe, I seriously believe that this team has a capacity to not only pull over 30,000 people regularly, especially if they market heavily to the Latino community, especially in Queens, in and around where the stadium is. I fully believe that. I have told the team that, and I still believe that hopefully that within the footprint that they have available to them in Willets Point, that they're able to go, bigger than 25,000. I think the city can absolutely support it.
Do you think this is an immediate impact of like the Messi effect, MLS getting a lot more promotion now, or no?
I mean, maybe some of it is. I would think that the team probably did an amazing job with their sales department. With Juneteenth, they've been advertising this for a while. So just kudos to the New York City FC sales department for being able to put this together. I was like surprised. I'm looking around and I'm like, wait a second. The upper deck is open?
Yeah.
And I was shocked. And then all that area where all those suites are over there, between the second deck, between the second and the third deck, they were open as well. And I mean, and they were full of people. And I was like, immediately I'm texting and I go, okay, what's the attendance? So, well, it came out okay. So it was 30,365. So, fantastic attendance today. It's the largest attendance since Red Bull last year. So, and I don't have the exact numbers on me.
Yeah.
Sean, you helping me out here or what?
It was about 30,000. It was about 30,200, I think,
All
last
right.
year. It was about something like that.
Against the Red Bulls. Yeah, they always get over 30,000. I mean, the potential's here. And then if they're able to get these sort of crowds regularly, maybe, the New York Post, the New York Times, the Daily News will start noticing that there's a soccer team that plays here in New York City. Actually, two of them.
If you need some digital people, Daily News, reach out. We're freelancers.
So
yeah, as long as you want to do it for free, I'm sure they'll be happy.
No.
This brother says, I'm feeling positive through my heart, and I believe from my team and Cushing, though, but the injury is killing us. That keeps it. So do you blame this on injuries? I think so. Cushing in his post-game press conference says he has a game plan, but it requires more of a mature team. Is that exactly?
He said a bit.
And he's got a very young team. But, I mean, that was the plan since the end of last year, right? Maxi Morales wanted to go home, so he left. Alexander Callens wanted to go to Europe, so he left. Anton Tinnerholm wanted to go home. He left. Sean Johnson, he's gone as well. I mean, you lost a lot of veteran leadership over there. And so they replaced him with very talented young players, but, it takes a little time to mature. But you can't ignore the fact that there really isn't like a solid number 9. I'm thrilled for Gabe Siegel for his second goal, and it was a striker's type goal, and I'm very happy for that. But, they need a number 9, and, we'll see what happens once the window opens. I spoke to Nick about this on Thursday, and he wants it more than I do, and more than any fan wants it as well. I mean, they're tired of not being able to win these games, but it's an incomplete team. And, credit to the defense and the job that they're doing, because between Sands, Hack, and Alfaro, they've done very, very good job. I mean, they've allowed 1 goal over the last 3 games. So, and remember that this team was leaking a lot of goals. They were giving up goals in set pieces. They haven't given up a goal in a set piece now. I think it's like 4 or 5 games. So they've solved that issue. They've worked on it and they've solved it. Now they got to solve their attacking issues, but they're going to need help. They can't, you can't expect this team to be winning the way that the offense is built right now. You need a number 9.
Roberto, this is tied to a question we got from Kaz Kanzanki. We said, we think the team is underperforming a bit. And our question is the team underperforming? And if so, do you think if we were performing better that we would be?
Where would we be at right now?
Where would it be
like
if we
standings, rankings?
If this team played at its top potential with this roster, do you think we'd have more wins, better records?
Yeah, I mean, if everybody played to the top potential all the time, sure, but not. That's utopia. That doesn't always happen. So it sort of balances out. Yeah, the team would be in a better position, but look, they're not in a horrible position either. You look at it right now, and it looks alarming because they're third from last. We're in the standings right now, and that looks alarming. But then when you start looking at the difference between where ninth place is, it's like, well, it's not that far, and you got a little bit less than half the season to go. So there's a long way to go. I would not be panicking. I think that once reinforcements come in, then things are going to get a hell of a lot better. And this team is capable of doing, better as well. It was nice to see them get a reaction at the end of the game to get that goal. They kept on pushing, and I think that they deserve the tie. It was very nice to see, that they got that goal.
Yep. I think that's all we got.
I had a question before I went to the Cavs question, and now unfortunately
Now you've lost.
I lost it, but it was a good one.
I'm sure it was.
Well, I guess we will never find out. I hope you get it for next time.
Anything else from there?
I think that's it. We have brother. He says, I look at the blueprint, including 25,000 seats. The workers are keeping it going. Not sure what that means exactly.
I don't know what that means.
Are there any transfers that we should be hoping for?
Do you know anything out of all? Oh, I remember the question. This is kind of tied to transfers. On Twitter, I saw a conversation happening from Christian Smith, I believe his name is. Christian, that's his name. And he says that he thinks the bigger impact isn't not having a striker, but it's not having Maxi Morales and having a really strong 10. Do you think Santi's at the place where he can be, a Maxi level 10, even if we had a striker? Or do you think that's still a gap and we need to sign someone for that position as well?
I don't think we need to sign anybody for that position, honestly, because I think that you have Santi, who I think is going to wind up being an excellent 10. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world, and, he just needs a little bit more time, especially if he had, a good center forward. I mean, people would be saying, oh, wait, look, he's got 8 assists or something like that at this point. You need guys who are going to take those opportunities and finish them. And Richie Ledesma can play the 10, and he can play it very well. I mean, he can play the 8. He can also play the 6, but he can play the 10. 8 is his favorite position, but 10 he can play. And then Matias Pellegrini can play the 10 as well. So you've got more than enough people with more than enough talent to be able to play that position. Are you going to be able to duplicate what Maxi did? Maybe not. But then again, if you get a really good striker and all he needs is like 2 opportunities to score a goal, in a game, then all of a sudden those assists are going to start coming up. And so, once you have a goal scorer, a real legit goal scorer, everybody starts looking a hell of a lot better.
So you think, in your opinion, that Tati's a better 10 than he would be on the right?
Tati?
Not Tati, Santi.
I think he's the best 10 on the team right now. Is he going to be? I mean,
that doesn't say much, though.
No, I'm not. I don't mean that in a negative way.
Yeah.
I think he's a good 10. And you have guys who are real wingers. So you've got Magno on the left. You've got Pereira on the right. Pereira's been creating a lot of opportunities. And think of all the other opportunities that both these guys would have if somebody was in the middle attracting the attention of the defense. So what do you do if you're the opposition right now? Who are your most talented players that you have to worry about? You got to worry about Thales Magno. You have to worry about Gabi Pereira. Yeah. So you're focused on those guys. But if you have to worry about a guy who's going to be in the middle of your box and you make one mistake and he's going to bury it, all of a sudden they have to concentrate there more, and then you have more opportunities for the other guys because you can't double mark everybody.
Yeah.
Right? It's not 22 against 11.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to be open. So I think that it'll trust me, it's like a domino effect. You get one guy in the middle who really knows what he's doing. Everybody else all of a sudden has a hell of a lot more room.
So how are we getting Ronaldo here?
Well, he plays on the left, so
that's true.
I don't know if that helps. But
Kaz is asking,
and by the way, they're just playing. They're playing Monopoly money in Saudi Arabia. So he decided that was the most important thing for him. Then so be it.
So Kaz mentioned. So you mentioned we need a good striker. Do you know anyone that could realistically be brought to the team to fit the position?
I don't know any names, to be honest. I've heard of some rumors, of people being out there, but nobody that I recognize as like, oh, this guy's really good or anything like that. So, Chicho Arango went to Real Salt Lake. That would have been a nice fit.
That would have been.
But I'm sure that New York City is going to bring somebody in that's good. Look, they have too good a track record, okay, of doing all these things right. So I just have to be patient. I really believe that they're going to get it right. I really do. It's tough watching all these games that you're not getting wins, but I really believe that they're going to get it right. And I'm not saying that because I'm the announcer of the team. I just really believe that.
I keep saying one more question, then I have one more question.
I got time. It's raining. I'm not going to a pool party till later. So it's
Do you know, even if we could find someone that really wants to come to this team, do we have a DP slot available? Do we have money with the MLS salary cap to sign a good player?
So they can sign a U22 DP, and they can also sign like a max TAM, GAM, whatever, type player. They can get two, and that's what they were looking to do. Get two center forwards, one a U22 DP, and then a TAM, GAM, 25-year-old, somewhere in that vicinity. Guy's got a proven record, and bring him in as well. So that's what they're looking to do. And then they're also looking to reinforce central defense. And as now we see, right, Chanot's off with Luxembourg. And then you have Thiago Martins.
Yeah.
He's hurt, and all of a sudden you have Hack that's got to be playing now out of position in the middle there. Alfaro's doing a great job so far this season and with his opportunities. Now you lose Sands for the next 5 weeks. Sands is gone for the next 5 games for New York City. So now you're going to have to slot in probably Tavon Gray there, right? And Tavon, when he was a U17, he played central defense. That was how he came up. New York City saw more as an outside back, and he's done great as far as, defensively. He's hard to beat. So, but they need reinforcements, and they're going to have to get them. So, and also, New York City FC too, guys are going to have to try, opportunities are going to come for some of those guys, and they have to step up.
I'm going to get my Owusu jersey ready to get out of the closet.
Last one from Kaz. He says, we have to be patient. We're in this together, my friends. That's a good way to end the live stream. I appreciate it. We got some positivity from the fans, and then brother
at
said,
least the ones that are on this live stream.
The brother said, "That's my thoughts. Agree with you, Kaz." All love in the chats. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good. At least people aren't slitting their wrist at home, with another loss, and they got a nice, they got a nice tie. They got a break. I mean, finally, they got a break, and that was important, right? Because Ledesma hits a ball. It hits off. I didn't see exactly who it was, but it hits off somebody on Columbus, and the ball fell to Siegel, and he scored. So, yay.
Yeah.
Maybe this is something. Maybe this is a goodie moment. As they had in
we thought the last Siegel one in Orlando was the goodie moment, and that didn't happen. But.
Well, they have what is it? 1 loss and 3 ties since then. So
true,
undefeated since 5:30 today. We are on a roll.
They scored a goal. How many minutes did they go without a goal?
296.
Wow. Who is this fat guy you got here with the facts?
The facts.
This is why you must listen to Spanish radio for New York City FC on the app or NYCFC.com/radio, because Sean Cabrera just gives us incredible information, and I share it.
And Roberto is, no offense to everyone at MLS, but much better at announcing than what you're getting at home.
Yeah,
right now.
I much appreciate that. Thank you.
No, thanks for coming, Roberto. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I think that's a wrap. What do we have? Kaz is still going. Even though he did say, have a good night, guys, because we said we were going to end, and then we kept talking.
Oh, wait. Well, while you're here, and so then we could, because we're not going to have a show by Wednesday. How are you feeling about the Atlanta game? Thiago Almada's not playing. Is that correct? Or is he going to play? Is he not with Argentina right now? I don't know.
Oh, Thiago Almada? No, he shouldn't be. He's probably on tour with Argentina right now. So, yeah, he shouldn't be there. I thought you said Thiago Martins, and I was like, no, he's not playing for 2 months. So they'll be missing. They'll be missing Almada, as far as I understand. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, look, New York City's been able to get results there, and they're playing better. The team is playing better. I like the fact that the defense is doing much better now. So it's hard to score against New York City these days. Barras has been absolutely fine in goal. It's good to see. So if they can't score against you, at least you get out with a tie. So, maybe it's here, maybe it's in Atlanta, maybe it's in Portland, maybe it's in Montreal, places where they've won before. Those are the next 3 games.
Sounds good.
All right, good. You hear it. Put all your money, mortgage your house again.
No.
The Atlanta game.
These are not betting suggestions.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye. Guys, take care.
Take care.